everybody, Craig Warrack here with a review of the Princess Zelda figure from Figma. Zelda is of course from Nintendo's Legend of Zelda, but this figure is specifically of her appearance in the Twilight Princess installment. I picked this figure up from AmiAmi.com for about 5,200 yen, which is about £35 or 45 US dollars. Unlike Link, who I reviewed previously, Zelda does not have a deluxe edition, so this is as fancy as she gets. But let's quickly look at the packaging. The window box is very nice, giving us a decent look at the figure and the accessories inside. The sides of the box have nice big close-ups of what we can expect inside, and the back shows the figure posed with her various accessories. But we can see all that ourselves by cracking Her Majesty open. Zelda is immediately impressive out of the packaging, so let's focus in on the figure itself before we take a look at the accessories. The princess stands about 5.5 inches tall, making her almost exactly as tall as Link. She doesn't quite measure up to 6-inch lines, but she is just a little taller than another famous princess. The sculpt in this figure is the highlight for me. There's a lot of ornamentation to the costume that's very sharply done. However, focusing in on the head sculpt first, that sharpness isn't quite there. The head sculpt is a little soft, but it's not a major issue. But I am really wowed by the sculpt here on the shoulder pads. They look great. Back here on the bodice, round on the gloves, the fancy belt, and down here at the bottom of the skirt. It all looks amazing. One of the gripes I had with the Link figure was that he was missing paint detailing to highlight details like these, but Zelda doesn't suffer as badly from that issue. She still doesn't have any additional paint applications, but because they've used metallic and pearlescent paints, her sculpt naturally catches the light and the paint produces its own highlights. Which kind of brings us on to the paint apps then, and while there's not any variation in tone, there are a lot of painted design elements that are crisply applied. Her eyes are cleanly printed on, as is the Hyrule motif on this pennant thing hanging from her belt. The metallic blue paint on the jewels stands out really nicely, but it isn't actually applied all that well if you look closely. But it was only when I got in close to look at them, I actually noticed this other awesome detailing. There's actually a design printed around the edges of Zelda's bodice, and looking really closely, it's actually highly in script. I'd need the Book of Medora to read it, but it's a wonderful detail and well realised. Articulation wise, Zelda's a bit of a mixed bag. Something I really like is how they've added articulation to her hair. It's always annoying when female figures have hindered head movement because of the hair flowing down their back, but the hinge they've added here gives her a really good range of movement without forcing her to have short hair or something styled out to the side. The braids hanging to the front are a soft plastic too, so we don't have to worry about them snapping off when articulating. The rest of her upper body articulation is pretty standard, but her shoulder pauldrons articulate really well along with her arms and are made of a nice soft plastic, so there's little fear they're going to get wrecked during posing. The real letdown is in her lower half. I was wondering how they were going to deal with her articulation with that floor-length dress, but really there's no solution present here. You see, Zelda actually has fully sculpted and articulated legs under there, but she may as well have a unicycle or a spring because they're completely pointless. The skirt is made up of 3 sections of hard plastic. The front section doesn't move at all, and the side sections rotate out weirdly to the back. I'm just not sure what we're supposed to do with this. Now, I don't have a solution to this skirt issue, and I don't want to see soft goods, but it's perplexing that they have these hinges and fully formed legs that do nothing under there. Anyway, let's move on from the puzzling contents of Princess Zelda's skirt to her accessories, and let's start off with her interchangeable parts. Zelda has 2 alternate faces, and they can be swapped out by pulling on her tiara, snatching off her toupee, and then switching out the face. She comes packaged with this neutral expression, and it can switch out for this slightly more amused one. Not a great range of expression, but she's royalty, so that's fine I guess. Zelda also has 4 alternate pairs of hands, and God bless Figma for constantly providing us with these useful holders for hands and a bag as well to stop the wee accessories from getting lost to the wilds of my carpet. Zelda comes packaged with these closed fists, and they can be swapped out for these hands with splayed fingers, these open fists for holding her sword, or these hands for using her bow and arrow. So as she's now all kitted out to hold them, let's check out her remaining accessories. First up is Zelda's sword. It looks great with a simple and elegant design. It's very long and thin, and it worried me initially that it might break, but the plastic has enough flexibility to bend a good bit, but also not enough to mean it'll get warped easily. To get it into Zelda's hand, the grip separates from the crossguard and can be threaded through the open fist, and then reattached. And Zelda looks suitably regal wielding it. Zelda also comes with the bow of light and a light arrow. Unlike her sword, which is a very simple and elegant design, these have swirling organic shapes. It's not a design from the game I particularly like, but I can't fault the realisation of the design here, and I do particularly like how ornate it gets towards the ends of the bow. The bow separates at the grip and can be threaded through Zelda's hand. The arrow is similarly designed to match the bow and slots into Zelda's hand here. Zelda looks good holding it, and her articulation works well to get her posed with the weapons, but I feel she needs a more determined expression on her face when it comes to brandishing them. In fact, her accessories all being weapons just seems a little odd to me. Maybe coming with something more magical, or even the Triforce would have suited her better. And just in case anyone is wondering, Zelda and Link can wield each other's weapons. The final accessory for Zelda is this stand, which pops into the hole on her lower back. It's always great to get an articulated stand with a figure, even though Zelda will likely not need it with her skirt keeping her standing, but I guess it's good for floating poses and such. So that's Princess Zelda. In summary, I'm kind of mixed about this figure. I've wanted a Zelda figure for a long time, and now I have it. I'm not sure why I'm a little disappointed. Can I recommend this figure to others? Well, she's a great companion piece to Link, so sure, but as a standalone action figure, she's just not that exciting, to be honest. Anyway, my Triforce Bearer trio is finally complete, and for that, I'm totally delighted. So thanks for watching. If you're a Zelda fan, please hit the like button and drop me a comment. What Legend of Zelda figure would you like to see next? Ganondorf perhaps? The Skull Kid? Anyway, check out my custom Ganon figure or hear what I thought of Link in the linked videos. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. But until then, pour on the power. Bye bye.